Hello, first graders. My name is Mrs. Kyler, and I will be helping your teacher this year with your Wordly Wise lessons. You may be wondering, well, what is Wordly Wise? Wordly Wise is a time for us to learn new and exciting words. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first graders, let's take a look at our first concept card. Take a moment, look at the picture. What do you notice and what do you wonder? Now, you may have noticed that there's a car, and in the car you see a man and a lady and a little girl and a little boy. You also may have noticed that there is luggage on the top of their car. You may have wondered, where are they going? What are they doing? Why are they going somewhere? This week, we will be focusing on vacation. This family is going on a vacation. A vacation is when you take time away from school or work to relax and enjoy. Sometimes people go on vacation to other places in other cities. Sometimes you can have a vacation right at home with your family and your friends. Remember, this is a time to relax. Let's keep going. Before we read and listen to our first Wordly Wise story, we have a few new words that we really need to learn. So let's dig in. I want you to say the words with me so that you can learn them as well. Okay, let's take a look at the picture. What do you notice the little girl doing? You may have noticed that the little girl is jumping over the puddle. Another word that we can use is leap. Say it with me. Leap. Leap. Leap means the exact same as jump. So we could say the little girl jumped over the puddle, or we could say the little girl leaped over the puddle. All right, say it one more time with me. Leap. Good job. Let's keep going. Now to our next Wordly Wise word. Take a moment, look at the picture. What do you see here? You may have said water, plants, and even a snake. This is a swamp. Say the word with me. Swamp. Swamp. Good job. A swamp is a wet, spongy area of land where plants, insects, and animals like frogs, turtles, and snakes live. Let's say this word one more time together. Swamp. Alrighty, let's keep going. Okay, first graders, let's look at our third Wordly Wise card. What do you notice? You may have noticed that there are two different pictures on this card, but let's take a look at this first picture. We see a car, and that car has the trunk open. Our new Wordly Wise word is trunk. A trunk is a part of the car where you can put items. You can put luggage or maybe even groceries in the trunk. Now, let's take a look at the second picture on our Wordly Wise card. We see an elephant, but let's look closely. We see an arrow and it is pointing to the elephant's nose. And this is also called trunk. Let's say this word together. trunk, trunk. Good job. Let's keep moving on. All right, let's go into our fourth wordly wise word. Let's first look at our card. Take a moment. What do you notice? You may have noticed that there are many different colors on this map. And yeah, there's even my favorite color, which is blue. You also may have noticed our state, Michigan, right there at the top. Also, you may have noticed that there's a star on this map. Our new word is capital. On maps, a star is often used to show where the capital is. Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. The capital is the city where the president works and where the country is ran. Every state has a capital too, so the capital for our state, Michigan, is Lansing. Let's say capital together. Capital, capital. Remember, the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. Let's say this word one more time. Capital. Okay, let's keep moving, first grade. Our last wordly wise word for this week. Take a moment, look at the picture. What do you notice? This is a picture of a monument. Our new wordly wise word is monument. A monument is a building or statue to remind people of an important person or even an important event. This is a picture of the Washington Monument. It was built to remind people of our first president, George Washington. Let's say this word together. Monument, monument. Remember, the name of this monument is called the Washington Monument. Let's say our new word together one more time. Monument, monument. Good job. Before I read our wordly wise story for this week, let's quickly review our new wordly wise words. Leap. Say it with me. Leap. And remember, leap means to jump. Let's say it one more time. Leap. Swamp. Say it with me. Swamp. And remember, this is a wet area where we can find frogs, snakes, and insects. Say it with me. Swamp. Trunk. Say it with me. Trunk. Trunk. And remember, we can use this word in two different places. We can use it as the trunk of the car, or we could say the elephant trunk. Say this word with me one more time. Trunk. Capital. Say this word with me. Capital. Capital. Now we know that our capital for the United States is Washington, D.C. Say this word with me. Capital. Monument. Say the word with me. Monument. And remember, this monument is the Washington Monument. Let's say this word one more time. Monument. Now it is time for us to listen to our weekly Wordly Wise story. In this story, you will be hearing about Carolyn's summer vacation. Vacation time. It was a sunny June day, and Carolyn and her brother David had friends over to play. Maggie and Carolyn were playing leapfrog in the backyard. Tiana was on the tire swing. "Summer is the best," said Maggie. "You get to play with your friends whenever you want." "Not me," said Carolyn, frowning. "We're going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. It sounds boring. Just a bunch of buildings and stuff. I'd rather stay home and play with you guys." "We went there last summer," Tiana said, swinging back and forth. "It was actually really cool." "Hey, Jordan," she yelled to her brother, "remember how much fun it was in Washington, D.C.? It wasn't boring, was it?" But Jordan didn't answer. Tiana called him again. This time he and David appeared, walking slowly up the steep hill behind the yard. Jordan was covered with mud from his knees down. "Yick! What happened to you?" Maggie asked. "David and I were trying to catch frogs in the swamp," Jordan explained. "I guess I kind of slipped." "Mom's not going to be happy," warned Tiana. Just then, Carolyn's mom called her and David to help prepare for the trip. And the five friends said goodbye. Carolyn still looked gloom. The next morning, David and Carolyn were up at dawn. They helped their mom load the trunk of the car with all the things they needed for their trip. "We're off to the capital of the United States," said Mom. She pointed to the big star on the map. "This is where we're headed." They got into the car and fastened their seat belts. David was excited. Jordan had told him about some of the fun things his family had seen in Washington, D.C. "Jordan told me about this place with a giant globe in it. It's like the globe they have in school, but it's about 20 feet tall. You can see where all the countries in the world are," he's told Carolyn, "and all the mountains and oceans too." The idea of a giant globe sounded pretty neat, but Carolyn still thought playing with her friends at home would be more fun. "I wish we were going to the ocean," she said. "We could swim and play on the beach. Who wants to go to a dumb old city?" "Come on, Carolyn," said David. "Don't be a spoiled sport. We always go to the beach. Visiting a city will be fun because we'll get to do something different." Carolyn pouted. She still wasn't convinced. Mom was getting tired of Carolyn's bad mood. "Carolyn," she said, "you know, Washington, D.C. is very close to the coast. What if we stop at the beach for a day on the way home? Would you like that? That way everybody gets to do something they like." "I think it's a great idea, Mom," said David. "Tiana told me it gets really hot in Washington, D.C. in the summer." Okay, Carolyn smiled. So, for the rest of the drive, Carolyn, David, and their mom sang songs, played games, and talked about all the things they'll get to do and see on vacation. Before long, they saw a big sign that read, "Welcome to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital." Soon they were able to see tall buildings, pointy tops, the pointy top of the Washington Monument, and lots of other sparkling white buildings and statues. "Wow, I didn't think it was going to look like this," said Carolyn, as the car drove down a wide road. "This is really cool. All this and the beach, too." I hope that you enjoyed our first Wordly Wise story about Carolyn's vacation to Washington, D.C. Before you get ready to go back to your Google Classroom, I want you to think about your favorite vacation. Maybe it was just spending time with your family at home, relaxing and having fun. Or maybe you went to another city or state. Think about it, get it in your noggin, and get ready to share it with your teacher. We can't wait to hear about it. Head back to your Google Classroom now.